Greetings, it's the Tea Mage, and today I'm here to talk to you a little bit about an exciting new offering, the Wind Flag Workshop that we're going to be holding at the end of July. And so I'm here today to just give you a little bit of information about how much it costs, when it's going to be, what it's for, what you're going to get out of it, and what supplies that you'll need on your end. So how have you been feeling lately? Have you been experiencing any anxiety or worry or been out of alignment? Have you felt like you needed guidance or you were living in a state of lack? Well, ever since I've been working with the wind, I've had more access to guidance on how to live in alignment, how to live in harmony, how to receive abundance just on a regular basis. And this has been through communion and conversation with the wind. So what this workshop does is it helps you to craft a number of wind flags. So how do I commune with the wind? Well, I've studied wind alchemy under Renee Baribeau. Renee Baribeau is the practical shaman, and she wrote this book, Winds of Spirit. And she offers classes, workshops, and I've been studying with her for a couple of years. I've taken many of her classes and even went through a 10-month apprenticeship with Renee to learn more about the Winds of Spirit. And I received a certification where I can now teach some of her courses. And this workshop in particular, I think, is very helpful because it's kind of a crash course on how to work with the wind, how to call in certain wind spirits. Now, sometimes we work with the cardinal winds, which are the cardinal directions, north, south, east, west, or even the doldrums, which is no wind. But there's also a lot of wind spirits, ancient wind spirits, because the wind has been with us in this atmosphere since the atmosphere started. And these wind spirits possess so much knowledge and wisdom, and they're here to help and guide us. So when you end up connecting with one of these wind spirits and it blows into your life, things are going to change. Things are going to be a little bit windy for you. We're going to learn how to call in the winds, and in doing so, we're going to have a ceremony to call in the winds using a prayer flag. Now, this is an example of a wind flag. See, I have a blank one. They come in colors as well, and you can meditate with the wind, understand who that wind spirit is who wants to work with you, or have an idea of that. And then you're going to draw onto your flag. And we recommend fabric paint or fabric marker, something that you can put outside in the weather and it won't wash off. So you want to make sure you have some permanent colors to work with. Now the workshop is going to run from July 30th to July 31st. It will be 1.5 hours each of those days. So July 30th from 2 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. That's U.S. Central Time. And right now the class is only $25, and that's reduced from the normal price of about $50. But you will need to buy some extra supplies, and quite honestly, that's why I've reduced this to half price, because you do also have to acquire some supplies, and I'm going to go over what those supplies are in just a minute. But first, let's talk about what you're going to learn about in the class. So on day one, we're going to talk about why we connect with the wind. We're going to talk about building a relationship and making that connection with the wind. We'll talk about tools you're going to need for the class, how to intuitively select the winds. And so, for instance, you'll be drawing wind cards. But then later on, you might not need to even draw the wind card anymore. Maybe later on it comes to you more intuitively. Then you're going to learn how to prepare the wind flags and how to conduct a wind flag ceremony. So the first day, we're not actually crafting the flags. We're going through a lot of information, and we're going to do a brief meditation with the wind. Also on day one, how to release the wind and work with a new wind. We'll talk about synchronicities, messages, and guidance, and we'll receive an activation to help you work with the winds. After that first day, you might be feeling a little overwhelmed. You need to let all that sink in. That's why I broke it into 2 days. And you need time to go sit in nature and start selecting your winds. Get by yourself, get quiet, have a meditation, call in some of these winds, draw your wind cards, call them in, and write everything down. Then you'll come back for day 2, and on day 2 we'll just have a reminder of what we did on day 1. We'll touch on some of the wind selection results, see if there's any questions, and then start with our workshop time. And then we'll wrap it up and have a wind connection meditation at the end. Does that sound good to you? All right, well, let's talk a little bit about those supplies that you need. First of all, you need some blank white flags. Now you can use, here's an idea, if you want real colorful flags, it's easy to find colorful flag sets. You just look up prayer flags, blank prayer flags, so you can get them on Amazon. But you need to think about like the darkness of the colors on those. It's going to be hard to use any kind of colored markers on those because it's not going to show up. So you might want to look at getting some white and black fabric paint. So maybe use black on the lighter colors like yellow and white on the darker colors like the blue. That's an idea. Most of the time we recommend the white flags. Now the one I showed you is actually a garden flag because I got an awesome deal on garden flags on Amazon. Let me get my little handy Amazon thing. I found these blank sublimation garden flags. They're 11.8 inches by 17.7 inches. They come in packs of 12, 3, or 20. So I got a pack of 12. And what I was thinking, an idea is you can hang these on one of those garden flag stakes, and you could just do 1 month at a time. So in that case, you don't need to craft all 12 of your flags for the whole year at the same time. You could do one each month, or you could do 3 at a time, and then you only put one out at a time. So that's one way to do it. And they're probably going to stay cleaner longer because when you have 12 out for 12 months, they get really filthy. That's why I don't have last year's here to show you because they're quite filthy. This was a pack of 12 for $11.99, and it also comes in a pack of 3 for $7.99 or a pack of 20 for $17.99. These right here are the Hands of Tibet, and this is a strung set of 10. So if you want to do 10 months at a time, it's already on a string. And so that's going to be easy to work with. But look at the quality is not very good. Look, it's frayed on the edges. The edges are not sewed. Whereas this one, the edges are sewn around. So it's not going to fray like the other ones. For $9.99. And they also have a set of Severn chakra ones for $10, $9.99. All right. So then also Renee Baribeau on her site, windwork.org, has a nice set of 12 that will cover a whole year. And they're very good quality. They're thicker than these garden flags and not as silky So they're really good for working on with the markers and the paint. And they're sewn on the edges. They're come pre-strung, and those are $25, $24.99. So you have choices on there. You can go super cheap and just buy 3 garden flags for $7.99, or you can go all the way up to $25. Or there's many other options that you can find on Amazon or Walmart. Next, you need some wind spirit cards. Now, I bought these wind spirit cards from Renee Baribeau a few years back. You know what? I think they might have come with a wind whistle I bought. But you can go on to windwork.org and you can download the wind cards for free and just print them out, because they're real small. They're real small. She has them on, like, it takes about 3 sheets of paper. You print it out and you cut them out. And that's what a lot of people do. And so on one side it has the wind spirit, and then on the other side it's just all looks like that. But if you print it out, you would just have the one side. These ones are kind of a card stock, like oracle cards or something, but they're very tiny. They all fit into this bag, and I believe there's like 72 cards, something like that. And then you can put them into a little bag or a box or bowl to draw from. Then also you're going to want some paint or markers, and I got this set of 32 fabric pins from Amazon for $10. So if you spend $10 on your flags, no money on the wind cards, and then $10 on the paints, it'll come out to like $20 extra. Now you might want to buy this book too, though. And I don't get any kickbacks from Renee Baribeau on these things. The reason you might want to buy the book, it's optional for the workshop, but you're going to learn more about each one of those spirits. Now, do you have to read about the spirits to learn about them? No, because you can learn through direct revelation with that wind spirit. They can tell you about themselves, and what their focus is for you. But if you want to learn more about what Renee has to say about them, this is a good book, and you can get it on Kindle for $9.99. Now, another optional item is a wind whistle. Now, wind whistles are a lot more expensive, though, and you don't have to have one. You can totally make your own wind whistle just with your hands and blow. You can blow into your hands. Hold on. My ring got me. So you can make that wind whistle with your hands. Or you can purchase a wind whistle. This is a one I don't think that Renee sells anymore. It was one of the original ones. It was one of the least expensive ones. But she has a new one that's the basic one. And then she has some more kind of fancier options, like with animal heads and things like that. And they can run, from like $60 to $120 or something on her website, windwork.org. But if you end up, what I would say is hold off on buying the wind whistle until you're sure that working with the wind is for you. But I guarantee you, after working with the wind, it will be for you, because we have wind in our lungs. We have the breath of life, and this is really a lot with breath work, and you'll find that your lung capacity goes up after working with the wind. Now, I'll blow these wind whistles so you can hear what they sound like too. Say I put a cord on mine. It's pretty powerful. And this is a pretty one. It's like a black jaguar, and it also comes in a tan color. And see, that one has a little bit higher pitched wind through it. So when I started working with the wind, I found that it really helped to open my throat chakra. It helped me to receive many downloads and channeling from walking with the wind. And in fact, I started getting songs from the wind. I started being able to change my life and understand my alignment with my purpose, understand how to live more harmoniously with nature. I built a wind altar, and ever since I really enjoy what the wind has blown into my life. And in fact, I'm writing a book on something special that the wind literally blew directly into my life, that made such a big difference for me and my family. And so I want to help others to experience those same types of benefits from working with the element of air through the ancient winds. I hope you'll join me for the Wind Flag Workshop again on July 30th and 31st for an hour and a half each day. And so you can go to the website, www.theteamage.com, and if you click on the tavern in the menu, a menu will drop down, and it's at the bottom, the Wind Flag Workshop. If you're on your mobile phone, you click on the tavern and it's under learning, so you go to learning and it'll be one of the classes listed there. So please join me. It'll be a lot of fun. We'll get to know each other better. And if you have any questions, you can always email support@theteamage.com. Thank you.